Hello everyone and welcome back to another podcast, joined again by the two gorillas.
Hey.
Mine's Geo, yours is G-U-E.
Yeah. So today, gents, is Mental Health Awareness Day, which is, I've seen a lot of people jumping on the bandwagon around the internet, but I actually feel there's probably some good value in us actually talking about it. I've probably got some stuff to talk about. I'm sure you have as well. I'm sure you have as well.
Yeah.
So let's kick things off. How important do you think it is that people are now recognising it as something we need to talk about? Because obviously we know the suicide rates in men are ridiculous, and I think that everyone's working out that illness is not just physical anymore; it's also mental.
Men under 30.
Yeah, something
That's
like
supposed
that.
to be the biggest,
Under 40.
Yeah.
the biggest killer,
Yeah. That's bad.
which I think is a statistic that pretty much says what it, epitomises the point, doesn't it? Really, not enough people are, not enough people have been recognising it.
Yeah.
And I think it's it goes hand in hand. It's the stigma, which is why men bottle it up. They don't talk about it. Ultimately, that's why that statistic exists, because naturally they obviously get to a point where they think that's the only way out.
Yeah.
Well, locally we've had a few recently that have gone to the full way, and I think it hit the community in the area pretty hard. Certainly touched a lot of people that we know around here, and I think if we can open up now a little bit and talk, I think it'd be a good thing. So, what do you think about it all, Steph? About talking and opening up? Like, what's the problem?
I think there's probably a couple of things. The society element to it, where you you're supposed to be the man, the breadwinner. You're the one that's the pillar, the strength, and it's a sign of weakness if you show anything else. That's. I think I'm not. That's what I'm saying. I think is part of the issue, which I think is slowly becoming less so. But I still think there is an element to.
It's certainly becoming more okay to talk, but
Yeah.
in someone actually doing that though, it doesn't. I don't think it really helps. People still come out and makes them probably feel like weak, or they're inferior, or.
I think it's part of a man's makeup though as well.
Yeah.
I'd be lying if I said I don't have my own issues, but I choose to not share them with everyone.
Yeah.
But that's it doesn't.
Well, after time, you don't want people knowing about them, do you? That's all part
Do you know
of
what? I heard a statistic the other day, and I don't know if it's true or not, but this is pretty much epitomises why people don't want to open up to people. It said, never share your problems with anyone, because 20% don't care, and the 80% are glad you've got them. Do you reckon that's true? Or is the other way around?
Yeah, the point is exaggerated to make a point of it. Obviously, it's not entirely true, but I'm pretty sure everyone's got someone in their life that does care about.
I've found I've had some, maybe I've said it on my statuses a few times, never publicly like this, putting on the record. I've had a few issues over the last 2 years, and I still do. And I found that when talking about it, really, really, really has helped me. It takes a couple of days to get it out, but it really does. Yeah. Getting out of bed some days is still hard for me at the moment, like pressure and put yourself under pressure and what you expect, false expectations on yourself. I can see it in you sometimes, Dave. Like I'm saying, you've got family pressures, haven't you, coming from that's different to my pressures, and I think you've got different pressures as well, Chris.
Yeah.
Being a breadwinner in your house, maybe, or you tell me. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it all goes down to how you handle the whole thing, though, doesn't it? Like, everything's like a pressure cooker. It could be like you could have issues like family, like work stress, like
it bottles up,
social, like all bottles up. And at the end of it, who do you have to talk to? You can go and talk to the professionals and all that, but most people don't. They don't want to go down there and start dishing out their problems to
I think there's a lot
professionals, do they? But the issue is that's what they're there for. They're there to help you.
Or the professionals.
Regardless. Yeah, 100%. That's their job. You know, like, use them.
There's a lot of talk lines now and stuff, isn't there?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. They've got to do it. They have to do it because it's just becoming ridiculous. Like, how much thought was not put into it before. And it's only now that they've, like the last couple of years or so, that they're really sort of trying to ramp up the awareness of it. And
what was it, like 84 men a day?
Oh, it's ridiculous.
Like, it's
absolutely ridiculous.
It's horrible.
And at the end of it, those people can be helped. I'm sure.
Not just men, by the way.
Yeah.
That's not just men.
No.
Women too. Mental health in general. We're not talking about. This isn't about suicide. We've probably digressed to that a little bit. But mental health, catching it early and talking about things. I think
there's so many.
Stops you getting to.
It's weird. It's a weird subject, isn't it? Because like, there's so many different types of
and severities.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you could be like clinically depressed. You know, that's a form of it. You could have dementia.
Yeah.
That's another form. You could have Alzheimer's. Something else. Like, all these things like go into. They all count.
Do you know what it is though?
It's
Like, that's one end of the spectrum, but probably the worst part is when someone just feels like there's a black cloud above them all the time.
Yeah, 100%.
And that's, you probably feel like you don't want to complain to people because you think your problem isn't worthy of telling someone.
100%.
Like, so that's when you end up bottling it up.
Yeah, yeah.
Because that's what I know I do. You feel like life's so good, but really, if you've got a black cloud above you can't get away from, you think, what am I really going to tell someone? I'm feeling a bit down at the moment, or your anxiety's on really high.
You just feel empty, don't you?
Yeah.
Like, all the time. It's just a numb feeling of.
Like, that's the sort of, like, what we're saying, that we should, even at that point, you should maybe look at getting professional help.
Oh, 100%.
I think the issue with that comes from there almost being like you're not depressed, or you don't
feel like
fit into a certain category unless you're close to the edge, so to speak.
That's too late then, isn't it?
Yeah.
You've got too far down the track.
So I think that's something that I probably have struggled with. Like, are your problems actually work? Like, do you? If it's just a black cloud, is it? Are you categorised as in that manner, or are you just a bit down, or like, you know what I mean? Like, I think that's part of the issue.
Yeah.
And it's quite hard when you're talking about these things. It's quite hard not to put yourself in that. Like, talk about your own experiences.
Do you want to talk about yours, or
not really?
No,
because I think that comes into it as well.
Yeah.
Like, just because everyone's telling you, you've got to talk about things all the time,
for sure.
don't mean you have to.
No.
Everyone deals with things in their own way, don't they? Like, if actually just not talking about it can work or helps you.
100%. That's kind of leads on to what I was going to say.
I don't really like having these conversations because it brings it to the fore. Whereas if I just don't talk about stuff, sometimes it's better for me.
So I resonate with that. Keeping busy for me is the best thing I can do. Like, just keep working forward, keep moving forward, keep ploughing on.
100%.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's a hugely important part of it. It's great. It's great that we're even having this chat right now. I know it's probably, neither of us three are experts, but with all that, we've seen people. We've maybe been on the receiving end of some dark times, and I think it's nice that we're able to sit down here now and talk about it. Shed some awareness for the day, for the cause. And I think if anyone is watching this now and you want to reach out, or you've got someone to talk about, then I'm sure there's some professional lines we can maybe tag in the comments below. Like, don't boil it up.
Yeah, that's what they're there for, mate.
So that's kind of what you're saying, isn't it?
Yeah, use them regardless. At the end of it, that's what all the government's putting all their funding into and stuff like that. So you make sure you use it at the end of it, isn't it? Because otherwise, what's the point of it being there? So
I put out a status a while ago about this, and Steph from Rydal said something about in startups and stuff you can bottle things up, and there's a lot of statistics around people who start businesses and fall into addiction and depression and stuff because they're living these lives and stuff.
Yeah, it's a lot to.
It really is, yeah.
Take on board. You'll get people that will never take that step because they don't want it. They don't want that.
I can see why sometimes.
Yeah.
A lot of pressure on your shoulders, isn't it? And expectation, like fear of failure, and looking like an idiot in front of people. And,
100%.
you know, I think we're all talking about different stuff as well. You know, like, yeah. Anything to add?
I don't. Honestly, it's a tough subject for me. It's a very difficult subject for me.
Why?
No, like
Just to talk about in general.
yeah, like I've sort of someone close to me. Obviously, he's worked in mental health for quite some time. More towards like the dementia and the Alzheimer's sort of side of things, and like watching.
Is that
them,
are they not illnesses though?
Huh? They are like clinically, yeah, they are, but it's classed as mental health. So, watching that person sort of come back and forth from work every day after,
Yeah.
you know, like treating people like and going to see people with dementia and Alzheimer's and stuff like that. It's tough. It's tough, and like, you know, you see it day in day out. Them coming home, and it's like, well, you know, like they have their own problems too. You know what I mean? Like, and then they've got to go out and do it all again.
What
It's
about
like,
the people?
Yeah, you got to be tough. Like, hats off to people that work in that field, because it's a very tough field. Like, you have to be mentally strong to even consider working in there. But yeah, it's just yeah.
Yeah. It's let's talk about something more positive. About keeping on the straight and narrow. Like, what do you think's helped you guys stay positive, and any advice you got for anyone listening?
Children. I ain't got a choice.
Yeah,
as far
you
as
got
I'm
no
concerned.
choice.
Like, some people people depend on you to get up every day and move forward. So
Yeah,
that for me is my driver. That's what I do.
yeah, I agree.
It don't matter how many bottles of whiskey I drink or how many times I'm feeling the way I do.
Yeah,
Tomorrow it still happens. The sun still rises, and my child still needs feeding. So no one else is going to do that for me.
It's
No,
good.
that's
Gives you.
pretty-
It's got.
that's pretty
It's a
deep.
purpose.
yeah,
Yeah.
It's a purpose to keep going.
Yeah, a sense of purpose, I think, actually is probably one of the biggest things, or finding your sense of purpose is
Sounds like
probably
you're
the
lucky you've
best
got a
one.
sense of purpose, because I bet some people that get themselves in a pickle maybe haven't. And that's when it can get.
That probably is it. And I think I haven't been through CBT or any of that stuff myself.
What
but
is
I
that?
think it's cognitive behavioural therapy, which I think is one of the treatments for depression of some kind. Whatever. I haven't been through the process. Just have read about it. And I would imagine that's probably what they go through.
Sense of purpose. It's funny.
Or trying to
It's
refine it.
That's funny, that is, because I feel like I've got a real big sense of purpose, but that doesn't stop that. It's actually probably maybe a cause of some of mine,
Yeah.
because I feel there's pressure on me to not fuck up, or to a certain level of maybe image, bulletproof, making out like you're bulletproof, or you've got all your worked out, got it all road mapped out, and I haven't at all.
Yeah.
probably never will.
No, I
one
don't
ever
think- I
does.
don't think you do, mate,
I don't
yeah.
think that's even possible.
Yeah, but I think that.
So at the end of it, someone will throw a curveball at you and you're
Yeah,
stuck.
for sure,
So,
for sure. But you come out of it though.
Yeah.
These black clouds that come over you, like
Depends how you
you
perceive
do
it.
get out of it, but it is pretty intense when you're underneath it. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
Like I turn to going out too much with me. I go out and just and drink, you know, go and party down at the pub, or wherever I can sometimes, because it's a like an escape from reality or the pressures that if I've got them in my head.
yeah.
That's the truth. That is. It's like you for 5 or 6 hours you can get away from your phone or your life.
Yeah, I think there needs to be the right balance in life in general. It's easy to just sort of just stack one side of the deck
Yeah.
and then let it drag you down a little bit. Like, it's too easy to do that.
What do you mean? Like
You just get obsessed, don't you? It depends
Loading
what-
yourself up with.
Yeah,
It's
you
if like
get-
your life is if you're in a pie chart.
Yeah, exactly.
You're 90% business when really
No.
It should be.
You
You should be more time with the family.
Like, I get it. I do get it. You should be like, you know, if you're trying to do stuff like that, then yeah, you should be putting as much time as you can into
No,
it.
you're
But
right.
at the end of it, we're only human. Mm-hmm. You're only human, and at the, like, you know, if you don't split the time wisely, then you know it's going to affect you one way or another.
Yeah, and that's
Like,
interesting. So I've done Sober October this month, and I'm only. Hang on, she's missus and text me now. Look, it's what's the date? The 10th. So I'm 10 days in. I feel like I run a marathon. But do you know what? Last weekend and the weekend before were amazing, really nice. Just like you start facing your problems a little bit more, and you can. I spent more time with Jess. It's been nice, really nice. I'm not having like a day hungover, which makes your problems worse. Like temporary release, done off, kick you on for more days after.
You don't want to do hangover with kids, mate. It's a car crash waiting to happen.
But look, we're going to say something, Sav, by the way.
Only so what I find is that you build up your own problems in your head.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's interesting hearing that, because actually, like, image, or you've got to succeed or be a certain thing, that's only you putting that pressure on yourself. Actually,
100%.
actually, no one really gives a if you fall flat on your face.
Yep.
The real people that you want in your life will be there to pick you up.
Yep.
And if they ain't, then they didn't.
There's
they
probably
shouldn't
only going to be a
there anyway.
handful of people anyway.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
the point is, do they really care if you succeed or fail? They love you no matter what.
Yeah, exactly.
So the image
But
is false. It's like it's a
That's it.
self-inflicted
You're
one.
here trying to like please X, Y, and Z 30, 40 people. In reality, there's only a couple of them.
Okay, like this. If you don't mind me saying,
Go on.
do you think Jess still loved you when you were working in telecoms?
Yeah, for sure.
Doesn't matter. That's kind of
Yeah,
do you know
yeah,
what
for
I
sure.
mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Like,
You like what
your
you've hit the nail on the head there. Yeah, definitely.
Your family don't care as long as you're happy.
Exactly.
Whatever you're doing, and it's only a persona or an image if you're trying to uphold it or whatever. Like if you fail at anything, it's not the end of the world.
Do you know what? That's actually something that I've slowly learning with, especially with Food Review Club, is the fear of failure and fear of looking like an idiot and the fear of being laughed at. I think was probably my biggest weakness before. Now I don't care. That's a cool thing to let go of. Not saying that my problems are all clear now, because they're not. They're definitely not.
How long did it take you?
Ages,
get over
especially
it?
after what happened with Raw. No,
Yeah.
I don't know if I've said this on record, but Raw, you guys might, it was Raw was a good little business we started and was going quite well, and I stuffed it right up and financially made some big mistakes. But the point is, everyone found out about it, and that was really embarrassing for me. Dusting myself off, that was a really low time. I think it felt like I was drowning every day. Talk about mental health, that was horrendous. Every day felt like I was drowning. I didn't know what to do. Like, 'cause I felt like people, not only did I lose my baby in that business that I started, that I loved, it felt like everyone knew and they were laughing at me for being an idiot. But really, no one would have thought of that.
So
You done well to let go of that as well.
let's say
And to dust yourself up and keep going.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Can't stab. I think they.
I was there that day. I was with you that day. You know, and I could see what it meant. I weren't laughing.
no, you're
I
right.
was
yeah.
crying with you near enough, because I was there when you sat and told me you were going to do it. You was Monster at the time, Monster Cricket, but
Was it?
Yeah,
Oh,
Monster or Raw, yeah.
whatever. We're talking.
But do you know what though?
But, like, the fact is,
yeah.
do I care that you
No,
messed it up?
but you think people do, don't you?
Does
They'd be your
anyone-
biggest support arm. Your mate, like the ones that are there with you, and they're there to support you.
I've also been through it.
Yeah.
Been there and done it. Left a well-paid job.
Yeah.
Thought I knew better. Went on my own. I'm good.
Do you like
World's a better
talking about
place.
mental health? The realisation when you wake up on a Sunday morning, I've sweat a lot on this by the way, Ollie, you have to get the bleep tool out, when you realise you made a wrong decision and you've got to live with that and you can't escape it, can you, Stav? You must have gone through that in your head.
I did go through it.
Do you know what I mean? You think, oh, my, what have I done? But it's like not
Everyone
just...
thinking like, people told me I was an idiot when I did it, but at the time I was like, well, no.
Yeah,
Now I'm too stubborn to go back.
it's quite.
So I'm going to do it.
It's quite easy to be. It's quite easy to be really narrow-minded as well when you're doing stuff like that. Like I done it when I finished uni, I started my own business, and I wasn't in a good place when I was doing it.
So much pressure in it, Chris.
So much pressure, and the line of work that I was doing, it just wasn't worth the money. It wasn't worth it. The turnaround time was way too long for the amount of money that it was bringing in, and it was ridiculous. You know, like you get all these pressures coming along, like you're living out, you got to pay rent, bills, etc., and you barely do that. But that's why you have a support arm. Like you've got your family.
What did you do?
I started my own film production company.
What did you do when it got too much? Like, did you jack it in?
I had to sit down for quite some time and make a tactful decision about it.
And sack it off?
Yeah, pretty much. Like, it hurt me doing it, but I wouldn't change it for the world.
Learning curve, though, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Like, it wasn't a viable option. It was a rubbish decision to make. Like, it was a hard one, but you just got to. It's got to be done. It's got to be done.
At least you had a skill to actually go back and do something. I tried to go back into sales and there weren't nothing there.
Yeah.
There weren't nothing there. I had interviews.
Jobs.
Yeah. I had interviews to try and get back into another well-paid sales job, and it just weren't happening. Nothing like within a commutable distance, and messed up a couple of interviews. In the end, I was like, do you know what? Like, I just need to be out of the house working.
Yeah,
100%. Went and worked in a factory, £7 an hour.
Honestly, mate, I've done exactly the same thing. I was out in Alconbury Airfield shifting carbon fibre pallets around just to keep my mind busy.
Yeah,
like,
so I'd gone from like a really well-paid job, living in North London, to...
That was a well-paid job as well, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. Like, proper well-paid job. The top earners were like 6 figures plus. I weren't nowhere near that, but gives you an idea of what could have been. To a year later, having been laughed at for leaving, fell on my arse, failed like they said I would, to then working back in a factory for £7 an hour. That was only 5 years ago.
It feels like yesterday, though.
Yeah.
Do you still hold on to that in your head?
No,
not at all.
No. It's only because we're here talking about it.
Yeah. No, and you see, now the more stuff I spoke about, I've totally let it go of it now. And I think for a long time I held on to that. Not anymore.
Yeah.
I think there comes a time where you turn the corner, doesn't it?
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
You never know, it might come back, but...
Cricket.
It's when you start talking cricket brands again.
So. You know what I mean? Like, I've been through it there. Told so many times I should have played this, I should have done that. Pissed it up the wall.
You were a great cricketer, though, Stav. He was.
Yeah, but I
heard a lot of good stories.
He was a great cricketer.
I should have been. I could have been better, and if I was dedicated. But like the reason why I brought this up is because you said about holding on to things, and I think that's what can cause a lot of the black clouds, because you hold on to that's happened and failures, but you got to learn to let it go. You know, like the house thing as well. There's another thing I failed.
Yeah.
Property rentals and development or whatever, ended up bankrupt. Oh yeah, we'll throw that one into the mix as well. There you go.
Yeah.
But so what? I'm not bankrupt anymore. I'm out.
No, not at all.
You know what I mean? We're moving forward, and that's
exactly, mate. There's always a bigger picture. Like, that's one thing.
So
that's the one.
25 minutes. I've literally told everyone every.
Well,
I didn't want to talk about it, but it's in the last 5 minutes.
No, but I think you're don't mind me saying, you're a credit to yourself, mate, and everyone that knows you. That was was that near the time when you first started here?
I was. It was 3 months.
Yeah.
I'd had to declare bankrupt,
I always just got to
because I got screwed over.
Yeah, I always just try and remind myself that, like,
what's good in life?
Yeah, I'm still here. I'm still walking,
going,
still talking.
I think, do you know where that comes from? Just being gratitude about just being grateful for everything.
Yeah. Like, it's easy to forget though. That's the
that's
problem.
You know what I mean? I've never done it. I'm not talking from experience. Yeah. They say about going to spend some time in the hospital or something. You know what I mean? With people that ain't quite so fortunate as us, and you soon realise how lucky you are.
No, it's so easy to forget. That's the only problem. Because I remember I was like dishing out some of my problems.
That is a bit of. That's what part of the thing. Like, I don't think telling someone that though that is feeling down would help you.
No.
Because that makes you feel guilty. That makes you feel guilty that your problems isn't as bad as theirs. And that's probably
you should
why
just
people
be
don't.
happy that you're breathing, mate. What you got to be worried about?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't help. Your problems are your own problems.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right. I know you're right.
It just depends how you
I've had a lot through a lot of my mum's always said to me, you know, there'll always be someone worse off than you. And my response to that is, I don't know them.
Yeah.
My problems are what I have inside me. I don't care that someone's had his leg blown off in Helmand Province because that's not my life.
Yeah.
My problems are my problems. His problems are his. That mentally, they feel on a par because that's what you're dealing with at that time. But yes, it is true. You will find someone that's worse off than you.
I think gratitude has helped me a little bit. It has helped me a little bit.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to press on that too much because I know people. That's part of the cause that makes people think that their problems aren't as bad as someone else's.
It's a soft. It's a.
I just think maybe I think life looks a different place if you look at it more positively with a better outlook. I think life looks a better place. Do you think, Stav, is that a better way to say it?
Yeah.
No.
I don't know. I was thinking about what you said yesterday. You said something to the radio came on about lottery.
Yeah.
You said we've already won the lottery.
Well, there's that stat in there that people think about their happiness. That people pin their happiness and their financial freedom on winning the lottery. Like, one day I'll be happy when I win the lottery, or if I win the lottery, I'll do this or this and this. This is a fact, right? I think it's maybe Gary Vee that said it. The chances of us being here now are like 44 trillion to 1.
Yeah.
That is like winning the lottery 4 times in one life. So we've already won the lottery. You've got money in your bank, albeit not much for me at the moment.
You?
Or, you know, a house, clothes, a car, like lads, like, or people, like, I know this again doesn't really help because people have got problems, but, you know, we're all in a good place physically, and we've got safety.
I think there is some relevance to what you're saying in terms of if you are, when you are feeling a certain way, like a lot of the healing process is actually self-auditing and remembering what is important.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you perhaps can't see it right away, and you can't look past your black cloud or whatever, but you will, and if you let some of it out.
I hope people who are watching don't mind that we're just having an open chatting. I don't know if we've said the wrong things or not, but this is just a completely unscripted, uncut, unedited chat between 3 lads having a chewing the fat. I don't think anyone knows the answers, do they, Stav? What you're saying is I'm kind of nodding. I'm thinking, yeah, but I feel like this. I think what I'm getting at is it's very personal and very insular, isn't it? Everyone's got their own stuff that people deal with things differently. I just know, I'm talking from my experience. Once I started looking for opportunities and being a little bit more positive in life, it does help. But that doesn't. I still have my dark days now. So, like, even like last month, you know, I had a couple. They don't come around all the time, but when they do, they're pretty bad. And that's what helps me get out of it. Just thinking about the better stuff in my life, and it does pass.
If all else fails, there's always tea and biscuits. A nice cup of tea.
Yeah.
Some fruit shortcakes.
Wait for it to blow over. What's that film with the zombies and they said, let's go to the thingy arms and let it all blow over? Shaun of the Dead. What pub is it?
Winchester.
Let's go to the Winchester Arms and what did they say? Wait for it to all blow over. Yeah.
Should we have a cup of tea?
Should you have a cup of tea?
I think you should get the kettle and stuff.
What biscuits should we have?
Fruit shortcakes.
You ain't got any.
All right, cool. So we need to wrap it up. Hopefully that went all right. Any closing remarks, Large? No.
So,
All right, cool. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. If there was any relevance,
No, because I'll start being facetious, and it's just it's not the right time.
Okay,
But that's how I deal with a lot of it. Is make stupid jokes out of things, but whatever.
That's all right. No, I've enjoyed it.
Can I just, you know, during this podcast, we've talked about being close to the edge. We've talked about jumping on the bandwagon. It's like, how many more bloody words can you get in there? Cut that out, Ollie, by the way.
It's uncut, mate.
Oh no!
every time.
All right, it's World Mental Health Day. I think it's a big thing at the moment, and it will be. Hopefully, it will be for the future. It's good to get the recognition. I think everyone is now realising that illness is not just physical; it can be and is very much mental. So talk to people, like Chris said, use the professionals. Go go down the right avenues and don't wait till the pressure cooker explodes. Wait, once it starts feeling a bit of pressure, then talk to people. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. Thanks for
Very
listening.
fair.
Profile podcast. Profile saves the world. Episode 4 done and dusted. Hopefully next week, or we can talk about
Something a little bit more light-hearted.
a little bit more light-hearted. Yeah.
Yeah, that's quite serious
It's
for
pretty
it.
intense.
Yeah, but it's- look,
but
yeah.
that's what it is. If you,
Yeah.
don't,
It is
if you
intense.
don't
I
go
know.
there, if you don't go there, no one will ever talk about it.
Yeah. Well, thanks for talking anyway, lads. Appreciate it. It's not the easiest thing to talk about. Who's getting the kettle on?
Steph.
Chris.
Makes the best one.
Let's vote. Who thinks it should be Steph?
Pretty sure I made the last one.
Doesn't matter.
On that note, goodbye.